Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. This will be the first of a couple videos I'll hopefully have up for you here today. So, what's kind of been going on is that the Zoom share seems to not want to work anymore. So, what I'm going to be doing is recording myself here and then sending you guys the links and the announcements to the YouTube um, videos that I'll be having for you here. So this video real quick is just going to be going over your assignments for the week. So you have really just two things due, discussion question here and the injury prevention rough draft here. So first off with the discussion question, you're the trainer for a university soccer game when a player has a compound fracture of his tibia. You have absolutely no supplies but must provide first aid to the injured athlete. What do you do? So just in case you don't know what a compound fracture is of the tibia, I'll show you that right here. And that would be something a little bit like this, where yes, the bone is sticking straight out of you there. There's another nice one you can see. So something you may see happen in a soccer game. And so you got to tell me what you would do if you had absolutely no supplies. So this is a chance for you guys to think critically and try to come up with a good solution for this. Remember to respond to somebody else's post. A lot of you are writing really, really good initial posts, but are losing 10 points out of the 20 available because you're not responding to anybody else. So make sure you do that. You have to do something that gives you a substantive post or response here. So what that means is that you need to follow up with something that's going to tell me why you may agree with somebody or what points you found interesting and why. So don't just restate what someone else said. Don't just say you agree. Tell me why, elaborate on it. And then your rough draft here is going to be due this week for your injury prevention, recovery, and technology paper. So what you're going to need to do is you get to choose any sort of emerging technology that has come out in the last 10 years that's helped either prevent injury or improve injury recovery. It can be either one of those two. It can be both if you really want to. The rough draft is an all or nothing grade. So it doesn't matter if it's terrible or if it's perfect. You get 100 or you get a 0. So either complete it or you don't. This is to try to get you guys to kind of make your mistakes now so that when it comes time for the final copy, you are already on your way. You should have this broken down into 4 different sections here. So you should have APA formatting and style guides here. So following APA citation format. What that looks like is you should, if you go to Microsoft Word, go to your header, hit different first page. So select that. You want to click on page number, top of the page, and go to plain number 3. That'll give you that. Over here, you're going to put running head and then title in all caps. Your title page should be centered. So you should have title of your paper and then about 3 or 4 spaces. And then you want to put the class you are in, or actually, sorry, your name first. Actually, I'll just put someone else's name. Your name. FW-140, injury prevention. My name. And then you want to put the date that the final paper is due. So if you look, the final paper here is going to be due on May 3rd. So that's the date you want to use. So there's your title page. You get to then the second page here. And again, you want to make sure you have page number at the top of the page. And then you're going to have title of your paper in all caps. Sorry. So exactly the same as the first page, except you remove that running head. Then you're going to have title of your paper, and then you're going to start writing. The first section that you have is going to be a detailed summary and analysis of the technology research. So that's going to be your overview. You don't need to have a section header for that, but so there's your first paragraph. And then when I get to my second paragraph, positives and drawbacks of the emerging technology. In general, you want to only capitalize words that are 4 letters or longer unless they're important words. So and, the, of, not important, but you want to center this and boldface it. Then you go to start that paragraph, and this is where you're going to tell me right? And then third section here is how the technology could impact our future. So the easiest way to title that is future implications. And that in general is how you should have your paper stylized. Now, when you get to these sources, notice that you need to have at least 2 credible sources. And let me just edit this real quick to make sure that so a credible source has a DOI number. DOI stands for Digital Object Identifier. And I will show you that here, how to get there real quick. But when you do your reference page, you will title it References. And then you will, in general, go author, author's last name, first initial, middle initial, date, whatever date that publication was from, title of the article, title of the journal, volume, edition, page numbers, DOI. The title of the journal and the volume number are italicized. To find a DOI, the easiest way to do it is to go to the library. So if you go to my.park.edu, then on the side here, quick links, it says library, click on that. you want to look for peer-reviewed and full text. And let's go with injury prevention. I'm just throwing in a search term there. It'll make you sign in to the library. So you just sign in with your park ID number and then your password. So it's the same number you use to get into my park. And then what you'll do is you want to change your publication date to 2010 to 2020. So that gives you the last 10 years. And then you want to select under source types, academic journals. And that will give you all of these here. And I'm just going to click on one of these just to give you an idea. So this here's your title of your paper, all of your authors, you have the journal name, you have the journal volume, the issue, and the page numbers. You have the date here and your DOI number, and then here's all of your paper. So the way I would cite this would be so I'll write every single author's last name, then their first and middle initial. You will write out the first 19 authors in the same publication. So if there were 19 of these, you would write everyone out. If there's more than 19, so if there's 20 or more, then you would write out the first 19, then put an ellipses, and then put the very last author in there. So then date is in parentheses, my title here. Now, granted, this isn't going to be a good article for you guys to use because it doesn't actually discuss any sort of technology, but it's just to illustrate how to actually use this. When I write my title out, I capitalize the first word, I capitalize any proper nouns, and I'll capitalize the first word after a colon, but everything else is lowercase. So even though this is all in uppercase, you should all put it in lowercase for the title. Then for your source, that is the Journal of Community Health, comma, and then I put the issue number and edition number. So that is 43-5, and then another comma, and the page numbers, which are 986 to 992, then a period. And remember, the journal name and the issue number are all italicized. Then the last thing I put in there is the DOI. So all I have to do is go to this DOI, hit copy link it, right click, hit copy link address, go back here, right click. You want to click on the keep text only. And then you want to make this, so highlight the whole thing and go to link and just hit OK, and that will give you your link. So you want to have an active link in there. Last thing you do is you will highlight everything of your references, right click, hit paragraph, and then you want to make sure the left and right indentation says 0. you want the spacing before and after to be 0. Your line spacing you want to be double, and then special is a hanging indent. So you hit hanging indent just for the reference section. So this is what your reference section should look like. People that miss points on this, at least for the final part, generally speaking, don't have an appropriate technology. So just make sure that you are, if you have any questions, make sure you send me a message, ask me if it's okay, if you need anything else, and that way we can get this sorted for you here. But that's everything for this first video. I'm going to get this posted for you. We'll have a couple more today going over the content here of all the information. As always, if you have any questions, send me an email, a Canvas message, or send me a text, and I will see you all here soon.